Hi everyone, welcome to the Celebrity Diaries. A youthful artist from Harlem burst onto the scene with a style that was all around as striking and relentless as his dreams. Gene Anthony Ray, most popular as Leroy Johnson from the hit series Distinction, was something beyond a person on screen. He was a power of nature with each jump. Furthermore, Ray spellbound crowds overall, exemplifying the crude energy and soul of an age that declined to be kept down. However, behind the marvelousness of his on-screen achievement was a story of assurance battle and an unfaltering affection for dance. In this video, we're investigating the existence of quality Anthony Ray, the highs, the lows, and the tradition of the one who motivated millions to move like they were bound to succeed someday. Gene Anthony Ray was brought into the world on May 24, 1962, in the lively heart of New York City's Harlem area, experiencing childhood with West 53 RD Road. Ray was submerged in the cadence and energy of the roads. His early years were characterized by the enthusiastic climate of neighborhood parties, where he previously found his enthusiasm for road moving. These social events became his stage, and the walkways of Harlem were where he sharpened his art, rapidly turning into a neighborhood sensation. Ray's ability was evident even since early on. He'd gone to Julia Richmond Secondary School, where his normal dance capacities were first perceived in a conventional setting. Anyway, it was his intense choice to skip school one day that would change his life perpetually right then, and there Ray tried out. For popular choreographer L.S. Phelan, who was projecting artists for a new film task called Distinction, the tryout process was thorough, with 2,500 teens competing for a spot in the film in any case. Ray said, "To depart his crude energy and imaginative dance moves dazzling the choreographers and makers. At 16, Ray's life took an emotional turn when he landed the job of Leroy Johnson in Distinction, a film that would become notable. The film, which depicted the existences of understudies at New York Secondary School of Performing Expressions, was something beyond a film. It was an impression of Ray's own life. Amusingly, Ray had gone to the very school that motivated the film, yet his time there was short-lived. He was ousted after 1 year as a result of his insubordinate soul that would later charm him to crowds overall. Ray's personality, Leroy Johnson, was a harsh-edged, at this point, colossally skilled artist, reflecting Ray's own encounters as a road artist who had acquired his stripes by winning nearby dance rivalries. Ray's ascent to distinction was brilliant. He won each contest he entered, including the desired title of Best Male Disco Artist at New York City's unbelievable Roseland Assembly Hall. His dance style was interesting, mixing the crude, unpolished developments of road hitting the dance floor with a flair that was particularly his own. Distinction was a reverberating achievement, catching the battles and wins of youthful craftsmen attempting to make it in the serious universe of show business. The film reverberated with crowds who found in it an impression of their own fantasies and yearnings. It was in addition to a film about dance and music, it was a tale about the difficulties of youthfulness. The intricacies of family elements and the disaster of dismissal. Ray's depiction of Leroy was electric, his presentation bringing a feeling of legitimacy and lattice to the job. The effect of Distinction reached out past the cinema. The film's soundtrack made history, turning into the first to highlight 2 tunes from a similar film, sung by the same craftsman Irene Cara. The music, much like the film, turned into a social peculiarity, with melodies like Popularity and Out Here on My Own pumping hymns for age. The prominence of the film encouraged an interest for a greater amount of Ray's dynamic presence, prompting a few energizing open doors and difficulties in his prospering profession. In 1981, Ray extended his acting collection, and with a job in the TV satire Robinson Crusoe and Man Friday, where he played the character Friday. This appearance exhibited his flexibility and appeal, further hardening his status as a rising star. Anyway, it was the resulting improvement of a TV veer-off from notoriety that genuinely characterized this time of Ray's profession. The Distinction TV series, which debuted on NBC on January 7, 1982, intended to underwrite the film's prosperity in spite of its promising beginning. The show confronted extreme rivalry from famous projects like Magnum P.I. on CBS and More and Mindy on ABC, which made it try to catch a critical crowd in the United States. By the acclaim viewed as an exciting continuation in Europe, where it turned into a prominent hit. Ray's job as Leroy was one of only a handful of exceptional occasions where a person changed from a film to a TV series with a featured job in both. This double achievement was a demonstration of Ray's convincing execution. Also, the worldwide allure of his personality, his strong constitution, and his amazing dance and expressive dance abilities made him a visual and social sensation. Ray's on-screen persona was frequently featured by his unmistakable style short shorts and an inclination to pull his shirt over his head to exhibit his body, which turned into a notable piece of his public picture. Regardless of his developing notoriety, Ray's confidential life stayed a subject of theory. Bits of gossip about his sexuality circled, yet Ray reliably kept his own life hidden frequently. It was his to express that his main love mother during the 1980s, the media outlet was less tolerating of different sexual directionations, and there was a predominant disgrace that could imperil a vocation as a result. Ray's sexuality was once in a blue moon examined transparently, mirroring the more extensive social perspectives of the time. The global progress of notoriety prompted an invigorating endeavor, a UK visit with the rest of the cast from December 27, 1982 to January 1, 1983. The visit included 8 exhibitions across 4 settings, drawing more than 70,000 excited fans. The outcome of this visit prompted a TV exceptional, The Kids from Popularity, which broadcast in the US in spring 1983. The unique gave crowds a brief look at the visit, highlighting cuts from the shows and in the background film, further solidifying the cast's prominence. Raised superstar status proceeded to take off, and when the project of Popularity left on their second global visit, which included stops in the Netherlands and Israel, Ray's acclaim had arrived at a level that required critical strategic help. He had 2 colleagues to deal with the overpowering volume of fan mail he gotten day to day as a demonstration of his worldwide advance and the enthusiasm of his fan base. In June 1983, Jean Anthony Ray's life took an emotional turn when his mom, Jean Ray, was captured in a significant medication strike in Harlem. This strike was important for a bigger activity that designated drug dealing nearby and brought about the capture of 14 people, including Ray's mom, his grandma Viola Lillyward, and other close real relatives. At 46 years old, Ray had to deal with serious penalties for her association in dealing heroin and cocaine. The gravity of these claims was highlighted by the capture of Viola Ward, then 66, who was tracked down under lock and key of 6 ounces of cocaine and a stacked .38 type gun at the hour of her capture. The judicial procedures that followed were a huge difficulty for Ray. After a 2E preliminary, Ray was indicted for offering heroin and cocaine to covert officials in a progression of arrangements that occurred in Harlem bars all through 1983. The proof introduced by the police incorporated various exchanges where Jean and Ray had offered medications to spies. The preliminary closed with Ray being condemned to a least of 15 years in jail. The close-to-home and mental cost of these occasions started to appear in Ray's individual and expert life. The stress and sadness from his family's lawful inconveniences negatively affected his psychological well-being. As a survival technique, Ray started to pull out from his responsibilities, a design that before long became obvious to everyone around him. That circumstance was intensified by Ray's own battles with drug use, which had been a piece of his life for quite a while. Supposedly worked with by his mom, reports demonstrated that Ray had involved drugs during breaks in practices for the acclaimed series, adding to his decaying condition. By 1984, the results of Ray's medication and liquor misuse had become excessively critical for his vocation to endure his non-attendant ISM, and the confirmation of medication utilized prompted his excusal from the Popularity TV program, an overwhelming blow for somebody whose profession had been so intently attached to the series. The aftermath of these occasions was quick and extreme. Ray's own and proficient lives started to wind out of control, prompting a progression of slips up and bombed open doors. Notwithstanding his earnest attempts to remain pertinent, Ray's endeavors to recover his place at the center of attention were met with restricted achievement. He momentarily showed up in the music video for The Climate. Young ladies, well a wiggy, and took on jobs in stage creations. However, these were fleeting. One eminent but ineffective project was his job as Billy Nolan in the melodic transformation of Stephen Lord's Convey the Creation, which opened in Stratford upon Avon in 1987 and shut later under a month. Ray went on with the job when the melodic moved to Broadway. In any case, it was at last closed down later, only 21 exhibitions. Ray's appearances became inconsistent, and his vocation preceded a battle. He showed up in the 1995 film Somewhat Off, coordinated by Notoriety co-star Debbie Allen, and in the 1996 Whoopi Goldberg satire Eddie, where he was moreover credited as a colleague choreographer. His endeavors to remain in the public eye included advertisements for Dr. Pepper and Diet Coke. However, these tries couldn't repeat the achievement. Thanks for watching this video.